I want to go to General Jack Keane right now, and you might be saying, the general, oh my God, this is scary. Why are we going to him? Well, because he was concerned about a lot of this, because this whole battle back and forth stymies everything. Nothing can get done in the House, and he says there's a lot we should be getting done in the House and elsewhere. Doesn't like a stop government, because it is a scary world, and doesn't want the United States government to a potential halt. So, General, if it means this is resolved either in this vote or the next vote, I would imagine that gives you some relief.
Well, certainly we want all three branches of government functioning in the United States. That's our democracy. And the legislature sure has huge responsibilities, like the executive branch, when it comes to foreign policy and national security. I mean, all that said, though, Neil, I mean, I don't think a few days or even a couple of weeks makes all that much difference. I think we can handle that, frankly, as a nation, as this Democratic vote is taking place right before our eyes, with all the issues on display for the American people to internalize. But I think from foreign policy, national security, we're okay. I mean, I know congressmen are frustrated. They're not having their meetings.
Right.
They're not getting classified briefings like they normally get. They're not able to organize their committees. There's all new committees with new chairs and not able to do all of that, particularly on the side that I'm concerned about. But a couple of weeks here or there, I don't think will make that much difference.
You know, General, I always think about you're a military guy, one of the nation's best, I might point out. But what's weird in the House to me is all this Byzantine, battle with who is in charge of what you need to do the next thing. In the military, I obviously you answer to civilian commanders. I get that, but the process doesn't seem nearly as screwed up to me. And I'm wondering, do you worry about that process, especially when it looks so all over the map?
Well, certainly the military hierarchical system, where you issue orders and you expect them to be followed, is a completely different system, to be sure. I don't have much problems with the democratic process unfolding. Certainly, I understand the parties have differences and there's divisions within the parties, and that's what we're seeing here. I'm pretty optimistic this gets resolved and the business of the United States will get on. And
the reason why I mentioned it to you, the reason why I mentioned it to you, General, I'm jumping on you because we're waiting to hear from the House clerk. But one of the things that you were concerned about, maybe not overtly so, but some of the newer members coming in, some of these Freedom Caucus conservative members aren't too keen on the money we've been, forking over to Ukraine. That's not to say they're against helping Ukraine, but they're looking at every nickel and dime. And some have gone so far to say that money going over there should be spent here. Does that concern you?
Oh, yeah, certainly it does. I don't think there's anything wrong whatsoever with political leaders wanting accountability of that money. I mean, that should be the case. There are 3 inspector generals, Treasury, Department of State, and Department of Defense, that are already providing oversight, to include the Government Accounting Office, which is the investigating arm of the Congress of the United States. So there's 4 bodies already looking at that. And if there needs to be more accountability, so be it. There should be that. But when it comes to the military assistance, what our audience should understand, and I think most of the congressmen understand this, is that the military assistance, the money in the budget that's being provided, is going to the U.S. defense industry to build back the drawdown of equipment that we've taken from our arsenal and given to the Ukrainians. So that's the defense industry takes that money, the American worker benefits from it, and I'm assuming the American economy benefits from it. When it comes to humanitarian aid or economic assistance, which we have provided dollars to, that is a different system entirely, and obviously that needs to be looked at very closely.
Finally, General, we know of this 3-day ceasefire, whatever the Russians are calling it, but some are saying it's a head fake in Ukraine. What do you say?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Putin did this supposedly around a religious holiday, but many people know that Ukrainians, many of them, Christmas is December the 25th, not January the 7th. For others in Ukraine, it is. And the smart thing, if Putin was serious, would have been to start it on Christmas Eve and run it all the way through the Orthodox Christmas on January 27th, going right through New Year's. But he's not serious. I mean, if you're going to put a ceasefire in place, it actually takes days to implement it, Neil. It's not just pick up the phone and make it happen, because people have to be repositioned to make it effective. And he issued this 24 hours out. When he did that, I knew he wasn't serious. Zelensky believes it's a ploy. I agree with Zelensky on this. That's what it really is. You call it a head fake, pretty much the same.
All right, General, thank you very much. Hope you have a happy New Year.